times. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that just want to have that one camera set up in XP lane to see how Sanford and Edward move around this map here. So this is crucial pickups for Liquid. What are they going to go for? An Alice?
Okay.
What's the last pick? The Moskov.
All right. This is the guy that I frequently forget because actually in like our own little tier list, Moskov compared to other gold laners, he's a tier below them. Not that he's a bad pick, it's just that usually you'd want to go for the big damage, faster scaling. Moskov is that guy that needs the space. The good thing is Liquid actually built that lineup for him. They have so many space creators in the first 4 that they went for that Daiki can just chill, farm, and then join in the fight when he needs to with his pyramid. Well, with Spear of Destruction, excuse me.
If it does go sideways for KARENA, at the 11th hour, Daiki can come in and say, boss, I got it.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good one.
What's a celebrity going to play, though?
That's what I'm wondering, because the Fredrin's gone, the Boxer's gone. Does he opt for utility, or is he actually going to go and match this pace from the Leo
I need a little more damage.
Oh.
Yeah, I need damage.
Whoa! Is that damage?
How about the purest kind?
Yeah.
I've been spamming a good fair amount of Balman. I'd say more than a dozen games since the season reset.
Can't wait to see this one break out. Let's jump into the Land of Dawn here.
Okay. So one of the telltale signs to see if this game is going to be hella slow is how, if there is going to be the second minion wave in the mid lane, little skirmish that shows up. Usually after the first buff, one of these junglers or both of them will just show up, trade it out, and then they're going to go back to their rotation, see if they can't get the kill. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be KARENA staying around here. He wants to get that Lethal Wander. He'll get it without a problem. Sanji and JP forcing Light and Yue back means that we're probably not going to see anything big unless, oh, they will continue the invade.
JP jumps on the Light. Light at a third of his health. Looking to save the range here for Demon Kite, just to secure his orange. This is one of the good things you get with a Balman, just the speed. You can match that Leomord.
Yeah, that's what I was just kind of thinking here is your potential to stay up to pace was the main question when we got through that draft. We saw that Leomord first pick on the blue side. And Balman being one of those heroes maybe pops up more and more, but especially I think because of the fact that the Fredrin was taken out and that's, you know, one of the go-to picks of Demon Kite. A Balman is going to be an interesting thing in this whole kind of game one, really, and how it goes up against the first turtles here in just a bit, but it's oh, hold on.
So fast, look!
Yeah,
He's already level 4!
That's his own pace, man.
Yeah. And I think that's why Team Liquid Philippines wanted to invade and just get that green cap. They wanted to delay this. And now it is around the 4th minion wave. Here comes Demon Cap. Okay, they forced out the flicker from Sanji. He won't have that for the first turtle. This could be a relatively easy one for Aurora if Sanford cannot get to level 4.
Yeah, Light trying to get that level 4 too, but Turtle being up, he's probably not going to have it, but you already know that Light with this, oh, Demon Kite?
Uh-oh, Daiki, fresh, off from the MDO.
Oh!
Bringing out those recalls. Yue got a face full of damage coming in from JP on him. Demon Kite spinning around. Throne of Ruin catches Balman. Demon Kite in the back line. Down goes Sanji. Edward finds him. DK holding on. The GOAT finds him. That's a 1-for-1 trade. One aside. In comes the Spear of Misery. And Devastation coming in! KARENA finds another! JP traded out for Carl holding on. Yue finds him, slams him down. 40, the Apex Predator, the only one left standing.
Welcome to Season 17! It was so important for the Alice to hit level 4, and since he was, him and KARENA, Sanford and Carl, decided to chase after Demon Kite. Now, Sanji unfortunately got caught out by Aurora, who saw the misposition by the mid lane, decided to pounce on him. That could have gone so well for Aurora, but of course, the killing spree on KARENA kept him alive and got him 3.
Oh, here we go. Set it up again for this first turtle. They just want to duke it out.
They jump on a 2, and that's just way too much damage. Call! Can't even call by BL. JP falls. Sanji with a tip of that. Oh, catches him. Down he falls. And now 40, the only one left. Light, Edward, and US circling like sharks. Oh, 40's holding on. He's just delaying the inevitable.
He's just going to delay it here. He does get back to the mid lane, but man, forget the objective, the turtle. The new objective is just to get the bodies.
I am seeing shades of Aurora that learned so much from fighting Alter Ego. The continuous fighting, the fearlessness of just calling, go for the hero, go for the bodies instead. Let's not play the 50-50. We can dive them. Great call so far by Aurora, and Liquid, though, still have a chance to take it back.
4 minutes in and not a single turtle taken.
Yeah.
And they're still holding on to it. They're trying. Liquid here blitzes it. And that's a score for Carl.
Okay, they'll take that turtle down finally, but still, I think Aurora generally happy with what they were able to go ahead and accomplish. You see this, Edward is 5-1-1, man.
Yeah.
He pretty much is locked and loaded there. And so Sanford's going to have to adjust his playstyle. I mean, he hasn't gone down either, and this is an Alice that we've seen many, many times. Just go ahead and set things up with that Throne of Ruin, but Edward is going to potentially be a problem here for Liquid to deal with.
Yeah, he has 400 gold more than Kite right now, who Daiki, credits to him, that man is doing really good in the gold lane. He is handling Kite, but can they find a way to stop Kite from getting farm later on? Because that's always the thing with Aurora, with everything happening in the map. Even if Kite at one point gets a 1k gold lead, it won't take long to suddenly see that he's 2k gold lead above the opposing gold laner.
Yeah, and I think that's why that Moskov was kind of picked up, just to go ahead and deal with that potential that, you know, Kite is going to be double laning, farming up. Oh, hold on.
Good call.
JP jumps on a 3. KarENA staying his blade, and they're just controlling the river here.
Yeah, defensive maneuver there from JP. He's going to be fine. But going back to it, I think that's a great point, Renmar. They've got to be able to deal with Kite. Oh, might be here.
On in, forcing a defensive blazing duet. And he keeps himself alive, and Azur's back. I'm a world champ, baby.
And that's the acknowledgement of Liquid. That's the receipt. They know that Kite cannot just be left alone to farm up. That even though Daiki is doing well handling him, you still have to find ways to deliver the pressure. So in terms of the gold lead, it is a slight advantage, very slight for Daiki.
Edward and Carl and Edward, both have popped their ults. You way to respond. I think Carl knows what's up. Second and final turtle spawning in 10.
That's tough to deal with, man. You got that large sword there to try to catch a horse. And KarENA, we know that he likes to do this. Even if he falls behind, like you mentioned before, he's able to go ahead and kind of catch back up in all the ways he finds across the map. And with this next objective coming up, you can see placement's already here for both teams. Both gold laners still up, but look at Edward's positioning. He's going to try to cut off the entry point here.
And now Sanford holds down. Edward just goes back, resets. Turtle slightly edged over to Liquid. In comes Gabriel, Light comes in, misses it, and Carl secures one more time, 100% for the cavalry. Down goes Edward. Liquid get everything that they want, pushing Light and Yue back. Carl does the same, taking down the celebrity, and Light gets a shield just in time to survive.
Oh, and the spear is thrown, but they still want to go for more.
SOD coming in, does not click it just yet. RWM the answer, Yue figures out. Kite comes in, walks the old-fashioned way, the slam. Sanji punished. Down goes Light in the back line. JP with the flicker. Yue wants to take him down. Yue with a slam. Carl comes KarENA. Kite with a fadeaway blazing duet. Down goes Yue. Carl finds another. Here comes Kite looking for the lethal counter. Misses it with the dash. And into purple. KarENA steals it on the way out.
Welcome to the epic rivalry here in Game 1.
Someone tell KarENA that that's not a Lancelot. That's a Leomord, sir. How are you dashing in and out of there as if you are, that you have Thorn Roses with you? My goodness,
a knight
Carl.
is a knight.
That's true, a knight is a knight.
A knight is a knight. Oh yeah, is Lancelot a knight? Yeah. He is also not. Okay, all right.
I think so.
He's a royal knight. He's a prince.
Yeah, no, okay. With everything that happened, look again, we go back to the gold lane. The 4 versus 1 box with Team Liquid Philippines pushing the aggression. Daiki still deathless, only 1 assist, and still is getting farmed. He pushed the lane first. Kite had to join the rest of Aurora in the center of the map. And hey, there's a Bauman back for you. He gets picked for the first time since then. KarENA picked it up in season 11. It's been 6 seasons.
I wonder if that was a thing. I wonder if there was like a discussion in the draft. It's like, hey, Kite, just go with the Bowman, man. You know, KarENA is the last person to play it. But I think, nonetheless, it still serves its purpose. I know he's 0-3 right now. It's not looking too good KDA-wise, but that doesn't really matter here for Kite specifically because he wanted to go ahead and contest with that Leomord pick in this lineup, but what's really difficult is if they miss those major initiations, which was mainly coming from Light to set up with that the Grok here, and if he's not able to land it, a lot of your plan from Aurora kind of falls apart, and then mind you, majority of these fights, you haven't had Dominkai yet for this, right? And that's going to be the trajectory for when we get to this later portion of the game. We start fighting for these lords, is how much of impact will that Claw now have in these fights? Because Daiki, you can say the same about him, man. He's been farming up, doing his thing, and he hasn't really had to worry about too much.
Yeah. So next big loss for Aurora means inner turrets. That's the second turrets in the lane are going to be going down if they lose this Lord, and the lead will get stretched out to 5, maybe even 6,000 gold, and Liquid will just be able to coast to try and finish it by Lord 2, Lord 3 if Aurora still finds a way to hold on. So this is a must-win for Aurora, or if they are going to lose it, they cannot lose more than 3 heroes in the fight.
If they were to lose it, they have to trade like 3 or 4 heroes.
Yes, exactly.
And that's the ideal. That's the only way Aurora can survive. Yue gets his Sky Piercer, so this is a good start.
Yeah.
This is going to start to hurt and get some knocks up. JP gets knocked up. 40 man-to-man defense against Edward. Lord slightly over to Aurora's favor. In comes Yue. Offensive use of the Crimson Being. A big hit from the Brock. Light finds 2. Insanji and JP falls. SOD coming in. Daiki trying to find Demon Guy. No retribution for Aurora.
And that's what I was talking about. There's a double for you. A Daiki on the run. Dominkai.
Daiki, I don't know if you want this. The recall in between the duel. They send back the 2 remaining members of Liquid. For Carl, he says we can do this.
Oh, Carl's going.
In comes another Phantom Seed, but Light, Yue, and Dominkai refuse to stand down.
Yeah, they're just going to try to hold it here, but the problem is KarENA, let's see if he'll be able to regen enough health by the time Demon Kite gets back. See, but the answer to that is going to be yes. So things slow down yet again. Aurora knew that they needed to push the issue. They did. They found the miscalculation by Liquid, punished that, got some kills, and now it's an even game. It's a 2K lead, but this is actually an even game.
There they go. They find themselves once again for the objective, setting things up. Both teams getting into position. KarENA will go ahead and hold this. Dominkai now picking up his Corrosion Scythe, so it is going to be a reset. They look to want to take out at least the tier 1 turret in the mid for Aurora to have a bit of space to work with, but they do fight. They've got control of the Lord now, half health on this. There they go.
Down to an 8, the answer from the back. A big knockup from the Lord, canceling Light's engagement. And a blinking the one at the back. Down goes JP, KarENA. The sharpest retribution in the game. Takes the Lord. Down goes Edward. This goes sideways for the Northern Lights.
And all of that thrown just for Daddy JP to go down.
It's a good trade. Edward Light fall. Team Liquid Philippines gets the Lord. You got to give a credit to Liquid. In this game alone, they've already answered the doubts. I know it's just the start of the season. Aurora, they had a great idea with this bomb, and it just seems like the practice isn't quite there yet in terms of actually being able to show what this lineup can do. Is it because Liquid denied them the opportunities? It looks like that's actually the case. In this sequence, I didn't even notice Carl got the Lord until you called it out. He was just riding through there underneath his own teams are a real-world manipulation. He was safe, retry, then he just rode away with Barbiel.
Here's the thing, game's not over yet. We don't know if Aurora or Liquid wins, but the latter seems more evident. I don't think it's the problem with the balance. I think it's just Liquid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, we mentioned this pre-game. Their system just works so well. This is the Liquid Stampede. This is the trademark. Aurora gave them too many cracks to come through.
Yeah, now at this point, they're going to have to hold on the best they can. I mean, you look at this 4,000 behind, and I think when you kind of have to look at where can Aurora turn this in their favor, a lot of these fights, like I said, are on the shoulders of Light to get that setup like we saw from earlier, that setup. And if it goes down, I feel like they're almost trying to pick up the pieces here to win the team fight.
Yeah, roughly 3,500 gold lead for the Leomord of KarENA. That's not something that you want to see. Their lineup falling behind, and you have a Bamon jungle. They go in, but they miscalculate.
Uh-oh, Raging Sandstorm misses the mark. In comes a big tech charge coming in from Light, and he's very low. Might bite it down, he goes. KarENA gets the kill in the back line. JP gets punished by Edward, and now Edward caught between 3 members, and now KarENA might take down Demon Kite. JC says no. Daiki finds Mr. Consistent as he tries to exit. 2 for 1 the trade. Liquid still wins.
Daiki, impressive positioning. Aurora committed in trying to take down that Moskov, but he made the most out of the flickers and all his dashes.
Oh my lord, Yue gets slain underneath his own base.
Man.
The Stampede is reckoning. The base still left standing. KarENA at death's door, still alive. No waves for Liquid.
And there you go. On the defense, I don't think they're going to be able to do much else. It is going to be a reset, though, for TL. I don't think Light wants to actually force anything here. They're just going to clear this out. But, man, this is in control now for TLPH.
We are just seeing, once again, how Alter Ego, how teams who play the Leomord in M7 excelled with this pick. It's inevitable that if you have a Leomord who had a fantastic early to mid game, and if he continues to get kills and you leave him open, it's gonna be a rough time to try and crawl back through that. Before that sequence, Carl already got to build up his Malefic Roar. That's a huge damage boost that will melt even Edward, who at one point was like the main guy that Carl TC looked at and said, why can't I take you down? But with that Malefic Roar up, he doesn't care anymore. He's able to. And again, going back to Daiki, he's getting protected really well by Liquid, and he himself is playing individually great.
Domikai commits the blazing duet early, pushes back 2 and 3, and now Sanford finds Domikai and punishes him. The Apex Predator finds his prey. Down goes Carl, down goes Daiki. TK finds 2. RWM the answer trying to quell Rora's forward assault. Now Sanford looking to take him down. Live sucking these 3 and 4 members. JP looking to assist the Apex Predator, and now they're gonna take down 40. Can he gleam on out of here? 40 hold it on. The lethal counter ends him.
It was such a good attempt from Sanford to set things up with the positioning on the Alice. But the fighting potential from Aurora wins the team fight.
It was a bait. That is one of the plays that you can do as a Claude. Initiate first, burn your blazing duet, make the other team think that they can initiate and win, but the rest of the team is holding strong and ready to clap back. It was scary when Sanford went in, but Aurora handled the counter well. Light with a tech charge, but I think that was more predictive than anything.
Oh no, there's the SOD! Domikai secures it underneath all that! Daiki finds Yue, and Daiki throwing these spears away. Humankind dashes out. Aurora just want to be happy with the Lord that they finally got. Light with the flicker back. Domikai got Daiki on him. And they cannot finish what they started. Yue is the only price they pay.
So much was used there, but they had to. They'll go ahead, reset, get full health, defend and clear this out, but that was so close for Aurora.
There's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of fighting, but you see the method and the thinking behind everything that has happened so far, the back and forth. Again, the M7 World Championship showed us the importance of not being afraid to trade, going for the heroes, going for the kills. Yes, the objectives are there, but at the same time, getting hero kills allows you to get objectives. And by the way, great little freeze on the Lord up top. But just a quick little delay for Light, which allows Aurora to dictate the tempo a little bit better with this push.
That's where they have to. At this point, mind you, they were down nearly 6,000 gold earlier on. That last team fight alone really allowed Aurora to get some more control into this game. Yes, they might have lost the base turret early on, but they're in a good position to now get to the base of TLPH. It looks like they're going to start things up. They should be able to clear out the Lord pretty well as it does go down now here on the top side. But Aurora will clear out the tier 2 in the mid, potentially this bottom, and that might be all they get off that Lord play.
Yeah, Aurora, for a majority of this game, has lost the map. It's just evident of their draft. It's not a very wave management-centric lineup. So after that big fight win, this is the best that they could do. A big Lord take could mean equalizing the map. And at this point, the only real advantage Liquid has is that penetration mid.
Yeah.
So Aurora are ramping up to actually gaining control of this game.
And this is something that we acknowledged also during the draft. Liquid, they were able to take the condition that we mainly stated for them, control it, but they couldn't find the big win to try and end it. Yes, they got the tower down in mid, but then after that, Aurora got the clap back, and Domikai got a little bit more farm, got a little bit more time, and now they're at this point where they don't even need to use Domikai as the main source of damage. As we mentioned earlier, this play was started because Domikai came in as the first initiation.
Yeah.
He baited out abilities from Liquid. They roped Liquid into taking that fight, roped Sanford into finding an excellent Throne of Ruin, but then they were able to counter it because now they are at this point where this is the comfort of their lineup, late game.
And folks, just as a little reminder, these are trained professionals, world champions at that. Do not try this at home. Do not be the Claude that Domikai was and be the initiator. He did this with his team's blessing, and it was a, I assume, planned play.
Yeah, I was going to say, they probably, we've seen Domikai do that so many times that I almost feel like they might not even call it. It's just Dominic's like, I'm gonna go do this. He comes back, team knows how to respond. You saw that too when that fight broke out, that 2 chastised pauldrons were picked up for Demon Kite and I believe Edward. So that kind of helps deal with even some of the scaling that we see with the Moskov usually at this portion of the game.
Great zoning.
Where now they can help him. Here it is. This Lord is gonna be a crucial one.
Dons, JP getting bursted here, forced to use a flicker and a raging sandstorm defensively. KARENA holding that live rush. What's he gonna do with this light? Susses him out. JP comes back. Quick sand guard keeps him popped up. In comes Yue with a forward Crimson Beacon. Sanford trying to stop his forward movement. And here comes Barbiel called in by Carl. Lot of damage, blazing to wet. Down goes Sanji. Edward finds him. And now one more JP gets the mortality bomb.
Oh my God.
Gets found out. Dominic falls first. And now Demon Kite holding on. He's got JP and Sanford on him. KARENA still alive. Yue pops him. Immortality down. Daiki versus Edward. Edward versus Daiki. KARENA gets it out. SOD by Daiki. Yue takes down Carl. Yue gets taken out by JP. Massive trades.
Welcome to the MPL Philippines, Daiki. What a move!
Demon Kite spinning to win it. And he gets some spellback. 40 chasing him down. Run!
They're going down to the base.
Oh no.
It's just Light.
It's just Light defending against Daiki and JP. Down goes DK.
Freeze.
Light can't do this. Light can't. He's hoping for a miracle. Pulls away the minions. Pulls away 2 members. Dominic comes back in 7. Could he do it? Can he?
4 seconds on Dominic Kite. They're trying to clear it out. Light bought so much time. He pulled it.
My God.
Got through.
The base. There's a card. He goes in with a blazing duet. No minions. No minions.
One week.
Still in the
1 week.
And I think that's it. Liquid stampedes through, taking game 1.